The toddler years are actually the foundation of development for the child, right? Not only in terms of physical development, but in terms of developing their spirit, developing that belief in themselves, knowing that I am capable and I can do so many things on my own.
I think the Toddler program is designed to be the first home away from home. Typically, these children join us when they're about a year and a half or 2 years. They've grown up in a very protected home in most cases, and it's very helpful for them to step out into the outside world in a safe and comforting way.
At the core of our work with the children lies the relationship between the adult and the child. And because this is the first time that the child is away from home, we support this transition with a lot of care, with a lot of love. In the first few weeks when the child joins our program, there is an adult who spends one-on-one time with the child. It is in these first few weeks that the trust between the child and the adult is developed. At this point of time, this adult is the link between the child and the environment. As the child moves on, he starts engaging with the environment with the support of this adult, and he's now an independent person in the environment who is familiar with the environment, who has oriented himself in this environment and is now able to adapt to this new space that he now calls his school.
Toddler age is really quite important and formative for multiple reasons. But I think principally the science today tells us that a lot of the brain is getting formed in this age. When they're born, of course, a large proportion of it is already there, but it's the ages from 1 to 3 where a lot of the neurons are actually getting created. Another way of putting this, and perhaps slightly different way, is that the personality of the child is actually getting developed at this age. How they relate to different people, how they relate to caregivers, how they relate to friends, how they relate to society. All of that is getting formed in them, right? Which is why it's really, really important that they have first a soft landing and second an environment where they get to explore different ways of being safe. Secondly, of course, in Montessori language, we say that the toddler has an exceptionally absorbent mind, which means when they're placed in the environment, they are just constantly taking in inputs from everyone and everything.
So Maria Montessori said that what the hand does, the mind remembers. This is especially true for young toddlers. They are sensorial learners. They learn by seeing, by touching, by listening, by feeling things around them. When you walk into a toddler environment, you will see that we have shelves that are low. Materials on the shelves are also at the level of the child. Everything in the environment, including the furniture, is child size. And this design of the environment is done so equip that child with this accessibility that is required to explore the environment independently. So the day usually begins at 8:30. That is the time when our little ones come through the door, and they know exactly where they have to come. After seeing the pleasantries, say good morning, or someone to show their clothes, and they sit and they know where they have to keep their shoes and belongings. So they have pictures for their shoe rack. So they look that and they keep it. And if anybody makes a mistake, also there is one pointing out, you have kept the shoes in my place. And once done, maybe some like to sit there and talk for a while, and after they come, keep the bag in the subway host. So there are like uninterrupted time when they come, pick the material, what they want to do. And we have a green loan and a sandpit. They explore more over there. And this goes till 10:30. Sometime after an hour and a half, we gather in small circles, which is a very organic gathering in small groups where we come together, we sing songs, we have activities planned at different days of the week, like art, music, movement. We also have food activity, which once a week we all come together as a community, where we probably have fruit salad or we have boiled peas. We come together and eat together. So by 11:15, almost every arrangement is done, and by 11:30, the van kids go to the van and the other kids are picked by the parents.
So first and foremost in this program, children learn to become independent. At the same time, they learn to balance that independence with a sense of responsibility to others. And that balance between choosing what your heart desires, but doing so in a manner that is not hurtful to others or inconveniencing others, is, we believe, a learning that will stick with them through life. Physical independence in terms of wearing your own clothes, putting on your own shoes, starting to be comfortable in the washroom yourself. These are exceptionally important underpinnings to independence.
Toddlers have a special sensitivity to language. In these early years, their minds are like a sponge. They just absorb language from the environment, which is why it is so important that we offer them a very language-rich environment in these early years. And in our toddler environment, language skills are developed through conversations, songs, and stories. And besides that, we also have materials in the environment where we offer language to them. Well, actually, here, if I say, like, kids learn multiple language also. Like, even if they have come from one of the language-rich homes, maybe, for example, the child may be speaking Tamil. But the wonderful part of it is that by mid of the year, they understand Kannada, they understand Hindi, and they have picked lots of rich words in English also.
They very rarely spend time without their parents, and hence to ask them to leave that comfort and get them to school, which is full of strangers, is exceptionally hard for them. I think we underestimate how difficult it is for toddlers to settle into a new school or any new environment, and that is often the first and biggest hurdle.
There are kids who may settle just in few days, but there are kids who also take more than weeks, like maybe 2 to 3 weeks also.
Once they're in school, what we end up seeing is that students indulge in various exploratory behaviors. These behaviors are sometimes violent in nature, completely unintentionally. They sometimes bite their friends, they sometimes hit their friends, they sometimes scream very loudly, not knowing the impact it has on others. So a lot of the work in the program is to help students understand how we function in society and how some behaviors, while pleasant, are behaviors we don't indulge in, especially when it inconveniences people around us. We see it as perfectly natural and, in fact, even developmentally appropriate.
How many are there? Can you count for me? 1, 2, 3. Do you want to put it inside?
Well, we had a lot of doubts before we came in terms of how things are going to work, because we have not seen them before. From basic simple things like how do you separate kids when conflicts happen versus just forcibly separating two kids. You make them understand why this was a wrong behavior and how does it hurt others, and expect them to really learn. The entire factor around, can you really consider kids as not kids and adults, and that they'll understand everything that you have to say, was a big doubt in itself.
When there is a conflict going on, we actually acknowledge both of us and just try to find out like what has happened, and we direct them to like make a choice, or we also actually offer redirections where maybe they can go for some other work, or we just find a way so that they can communicate within themselves and find the solution. And when we say that we observe children, and that observation is a very key element of our role as Montessori educators, what we mean is that we see what they are doing without passing a judgment. So these observations that we make in the classroom actually act as an input for us to then reflect and see what are the needs of this child, what are the developmental needs of this child. And based on these observations, we then offer them activities that will help them take their skills to the next level.
At the toddler age, we as teachers, we track close to 150 different data points, ranging from simple physical development to more nuanced observations on how much time they can spend unattended, how much time can they spend concentrating on piece of work. This is really important for us because we want to see what the trends look like. A lot of us have good days and bad days. We don't worry about that as much, but we do focus on, is the trend moving in the right direction? With the awareness that it is possible in this time that some students fall behind for various medical reasons. And if that is so, then it's super important and critical for us to bring that to the attention of the medical team at as young an age as possible.
I think a couple of parameters that we observe when we are reflecting about whether a child is ready for transitioning to the primary environment is language. Are they able to now express their needs clearly? Toilet training, again, are they able to express their bladder needs independently on most occasions? Even if they are not 100% toilet trained, are they there, around 80% of the occasions? They are able to either express it independently or they are very cooperative when it comes to using the toilet. The third is, are they showing fairly good concentration on chosen activities, right? They've been working on Montessori materials, Toddler environment as well. But now, are they able to work on activities for a longer duration of time? Specifically, do we see them showing a deeper interest in a lot of language-based activities? Because that would also mean that their need for language activities is now increased, right? Which means they are ready for the next level of language activities. And finally, the element of group dynamics. How comfortable are they in small group activities? Do they now understand the norms of working in small groups, right? Or do they still need an adult in a group setting?
Big changes that I observe as a result of the program in skills of behavior. In skills is language skills, phonetics, hearing the sounds, repeating the sounds, articulating the words and sentences coherently. And the big behavioral change that I saw was the collaboration, the way they engage with the other kids while playing, while engaging with them outside or inside.
As they spend a year in the environment, they now become role models for the new toddlers who join. So often you see the older toddlers helping the younger toddlers, assisting them, offering them a tissue if they are crying, helping them in a particular activity if they see them struggling.
I consider this experience quite transformational for the kids as well as us. We've become a different kind of parents versus what we would have been otherwise. The kids definitely have learned a lot in terms of skills, in terms of behaviors, life skills. Academic skills is something that you'll probably gather at most places anyways. But getting life skills and behavior skills at the ease at which it comes with Montessori is quite unique in this course. It caused a massive shift in our mindset as parents. One key change that I observed on myself and my wife is giving them more space to learn, more time to learn, and choice to learn, versus there's a concept called being a carpenter, being a gardener with your kid. We've seen a lot of carpenter kind of work while growing up, and this is a lot of gardening. Just curate, nurture them, and just leave them with what they have.